Hi, I'm Elissa Nadworny, and this is NPR's Book of the Day. Today, we've got two nonfiction books about writing. In a moment, you'll hear about a fun conversation I had with Mac Barnett, famous children's book author and our nation's ambassador for children's literature. But first, Lucy Ives, a writer, poet, and teacher, gives us her latest book called 365, Prompts, Acts, and Divinations. Sure, it has 365 exercises for writing to help you with your creative writing endeavors, but there's also meditations and ideas and inspiration to help you actually believe you are a writer. She spoke with Weekend Edition's Scott Simon.
This message comes from Capital One. With the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase and get big purchasing power so your business can spend more and earn more. Stephen, Brandon, and Bruno, the business owners of SandCloud, reinvested their 2% cash back to help build the company's retail presence. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus. Terms apply.
This message comes from BetterHelp. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, a reminder that you don't have to do this life alone. From loneliness to anxiety to financial stress, right now, people everywhere are struggling. But having a licensed therapist with you by video, phone, or chat can make a difference. And BetterHelp makes it easy. Sign up now and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/NPR. That's betterhelp.com/NPR.
This message comes from NPR sponsor Harry Potter, the official film podcast from HBO Max. 25 years after the first Harry Potter movie came out, it's the perfect time to rediscover these beloved films. The Harry Potter official film podcast brings you behind the scenes, starting with The Philosopher's Stone. Uncover hidden details and hear interviews with the people who brought the wizarding world to life. Watch on HBO Max or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Got a suggestion here, listeners. Put down your bagel, pick up a pen and paper, fire up the laptop, open the Notes app on your phone, whatever your chosen method. Face the blank page. Now what? Well, here's an idea.
Walk to a place where you can sit a while undisturbed. Now write a detailed account of how you got there. The shorter the trip, the longer the account should be.
Ooh, Lucy Ives, author of the books My Name Enters America and Life is Everywhere, is out with a collection of daily exercises to inspire creative writing. It's called 365, Prompts, Acts, Divinations. And Lucy Ives joins us now from Corinth, Vermont. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You've written for the Paris Review. You've been newly named Guggenheim Fellow. What prompts this book?
Well, this is a book that comes out of the process I used myself to teach myself how to write when I was a younger person in my 20s. And then when I became a writing teacher, I started doing little experiments in my classes and offering my students brief exercises for writing. And eventually I started to want to share these prompts with more people. And so this book is a year's worth of prompts for writing.
Writers make writing sound like hard work. And it is, right? If it were easy, I suppose more people would do it. But you invite people to be playful, too. For example, tell the story of a journey you once took to a place where you never arrived. Now, is this like just getting lost trying to find the Dairy Queen?
It could be. I mean, you might be going someplace even better than the Dairy Queen. And the nice thing about never getting there is that that place can be the most amazing place.
Well, what's the goal? For people to try it, to get published, or to just write better diaries, or amuse themselves?
If people want to be published and use this book to work on a project, it certainly can be for that. But this book can also just be for reading. In a certain way, the prompts are like poems or little pieces of philosophy. So you could use the book in the way that you might use a work of literature, use it as something for thinking. It could also be a book that you use to discover something about yourself.
And how does that work in the writing process?
Well, I think that, we often think of writing as a technology that makes our thoughts or language permanent and portable. But writing is also something that originates somewhere between or among our brains, arms, hands, fingers. And if we are attentive to writing and what happens in these moments when we're writing, we can really uncover a lot. We can find a lot of energy and a lot of surprise.
All right, I found it irresistible. Who knows how many I'll try, but I tried number 60, werewolf. Could I get you to read the prompt for us?
Yes, one moment. I'm just going to turn to it. Write from the point of view of a non-human animal.
All right, here's what I came up with. Ready?
Yes.
From the point of view of a non-human animal. Sun seeped under my eyelids. The two-legged male to one side of me snored, stinking of stale coffee. Two-legged female on the other side breathed out vapors of Chanel and Sauvignon Blanc. My insides pressed for release, yet I knew that just to let go would wet the soft surface below. So I slipped my tongue tip under an eyelid of the two-legged female. She lifted her eyes open and repeated some incomprehensible babble in a sweet tone I learned would lead to two legs slipping out of slumber and walking for my relief. I licked female two legs on her mouth. Her breed takes it as a sign of love. Two-leggeds are so easily fooled.
Wow, bravo.
And?
Oh, it's a dog.
Yes, it's a dog. It's a dog. Well, on the other hand, the reader determines that, don't they?
Yes,
ultimately?
That's right. That's absolutely true.
If it reminds someone of a hedgehog, who am I to say, well, do you have music on? Do you sit in a quiet room? Do you sit in a crowded cafe?
Are you asking about me, about how I write?
Well, and what advice you'd give others?
I don't really think it matters. Sometimes the best time to write is when you think that you don't want to or that you don't have enough time. Those can be the times when there's a part of your mind that you seldom use for writing that you could access, and it might have something really amazing to tell you. I personally like silence, but in this book, there are some exercises you can do to music if that suits you, or you can go for a walk and write at the same time. I think there are all sorts of different ways to write. I'm not one of those person who goes in for the sort of like locked in their study with earplugs in sort of thing.
Lucy Ives, her new collection of writing prompts with drawings by Nick Mouse, is 365. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's a delight to be here.
This message comes from Capital One. With the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase and get big purchasing power so your business can spend more and earn more. Stephen, Brandon, and Bruno, the business owners of SandCloud, reinvested their 2% cash back to help build the company's retail presence. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus. Terms apply. This message comes from NPR sponsor Harry Potter, the official film podcast from HBO Max. 25 years after the first Harry Potter movie came out, it's the perfect time to rediscover these beloved films. The Harry Potter official film podcast brings you behind the scenes, starting with The Philosopher's Stone. Uncover hidden details and hear interviews with the people who brought the wizarding world to life. Watch on HBO Max or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This message comes from Bombas. Your feet hit the ground an average of 2,000 times in a mile. Bombas sports socks are designed to support you every step. Sprint to bombas.com/NPR and use code NPR for 20% off your first purchase.
Let's turn now to children's stories. I'm sure you can remember your favorite books as a kid. Goodnight Moon, Where the Wild Things Are, Dear Zoo. My personal favorite was A World Full of Monsters by John McQueen, illustrated by Mark Brown. Here's little Elissa reading that book back in 1991.
But there was monsters. Monsters in the city, monsters in the farm.
Mac Barnett has written dozens of children's books, and he outlines what it takes and why it's not more respected in his latest book, Make Believe, on telling stories to children. I talked with him about it for Weekend Edition. Mac Barnett is an author of children's books, otherwise known as books, including but not limited to The First Cat in Space graphic novel series, Sam and Dave Dig a Hole, The Great Zapfino, Extra Yarn. He's also the current U.S. National Ambassador for Young People's Literature, and he gets asked all the time when he plans on writing a book for adults.
People say, when are you going to write a real book? By which they mean an adult book. There's a list of other indignities that children's book authors endure. People saying that they've always wanted to write a kid's book because it seems so easy. People telling you, you're just a big kid. People telling you that your job is cute. People asking if you wrote The Cat in the Hat, which was written by Dr. Seuss, who has been dead since 1991.
Well, the good news is Mac Barnett's finally written a real book. It's called Make Believe, and it's a book for adults about books for children. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so why did you want to write a book for adults about books for children?
I think that the best way to get kids to love reading is to give them books they love to read. I think we tend to think of children's literature as literature with training wheels.
Simple.
Simple books for simple humans. And kids are not simple. Mm-hmm. They are so complex. They are so sophisticated. And they really need like a literature that is as rich and varied as their lives are.
Yeah. So you have what you call a grand unifying theory of children's literature.
Yeah.
Could you share it with us?
Here we go. A children's book is a book written for children.
Profound.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is kind of what you're saying just that children's books have to have a good story?
You know what? They don't even have to be stories. Adults desire to teach kids lessons, to make a lot of didactic fiction. The first thing that gets pushed out is storytelling. But it doesn't have to be a story. It doesn't have to be anything. Poems. They can be little observations. A picture book especially can hold like an idea, a moment, a feeling. Part of it is just like really opening the aperture, trying to make this as expansive as possible.
One of the phrases I was struck by in the book is good books for bad children.
Yeah.
Where does this phrase come from and why do you like it?
This comes from an editor, Ursula Nordstrom. She published Where the Wild Things Are, Harriet the Spy, Goodnight Moon. She worked for Harper. And the suits at Harper invited her to lunch because she was making them so much money. And they said, congratulations, we'd like to give you a promotion. You could be an adult editor. And she told them, no, thank you. Why would I want to make a book for dead, dull, finished adults? I'm going to go back to work making good books for bad children. It's funny. I think that phrase is so rich. We also don't know exactly what she meant. I spend a lot of time just thinking it over, and I've had different definitions. At least where I've settled now on it is she's taking kids as they are. She's not trying to improve them. Mm-hmm. She's not thinking about turning them into future adults, productive citizens. She's taking their real lives, their moral complexity, and just making stories for them.
I want to talk a little bit about Goodnight Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like your book really reintroduced me to it.
Cool.
It's written by Margaret Wise Brown.
Yeah.
And illustrated by Clement Hurd. Can you tell me about what stands out to you about this book?
Margaret Wise Brown, first of all, I consider her like one of the great modernist poets. Goodnight Moon, it's an experimental poem with pictures. Like, it's a radical work of literature. You know, if you look at the pictures, they're very strange. The balloon is in like the most annoying place for a balloon to possibly be in. Things are disappearing on and off a drying rack. An old lady who's actually a bunny but is described as an old lady is like in the room and out of the room. It's very off-kilter, and the text does similar things, too. It's a very unstable poem. You get so used to the rhythm of a picture and then words that describe the picture. And then midway through, you turn the page and it just says, good night, nobody. And there's not a picture at all.
Nothing.
Nothing. It's the void. It's the sublime. It's
the thing you're scared of.
That's what I think, too. For me as a kid, going to sleep was so intense. And then the next page after that, Goodnight Mush.
Silly.
Yeah, silly. And it's a bowl of mush. And it's so fun. It's like, I compare it to like when you almost get into a car accident and then you're like, that joy that comes after a very scary moment. And then mush also initiates the shh, shh, shh sound that lulls us to sleep. And I think that that book encapsulates a very complex truth that kids know well. Going to bed is eerie, uncomfortable, strange, but it's going to be okay. It does both those things, and it does paradox so well. I spent a lot of time with that picture book. One, to show that a children's book can benefit from a really rigorous reading, but two, to make the argument that actually the reason that kids love it is because of these experimental moves.
Well, and it also talks to this idea that kids' books don't need plot, role models, happy endings, lessons to be good.
Totally. I mean, you go to there, even your question earlier, like, is it a story? Is Goodnight Moon a story? To the extent that it is, to the extent that you could describe, if I said, like, what is Goodnight Moon about? Like, what would you say?
Going to sleep.
Yeah. A rabbit goes to sleep.
You write that a high percentage, I think it's like 94.7%, is that the number you land on? Of kids' books are crud.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I wish I hadn't written it that way.
Why?
It was hurtful to people who make kids' books. And it comes in a section that is talking about how kids' books are unfairly dismissed. I talk about this thing called Sturgeon's Law, which is how a science fiction writer replied to somebody standing up and saying, "Why do you write sci-fi? 90% of sci-fi is crud." And he said, 90% of everything is crud. I think that, you know, in my effort to make a point about kids' books being dismissed,
You kind of dismissed them a little bit.
I did. I was overzealous, I was careless, and I was hyperbolic. And I feel really sorry about it.
It comes in this environment where the majority of books that are being challenged in libraries and schools are children's books.
Yeah.
And so I wonder that context, how that fits in with the criticism of the genre.
As I said, we need to open the aperture. It's not about making less books, not for me. It's about making more books. More books, more kinds of books, more voices in the room. That is when literature is humming to me. That is what is exciting. It is why I spend so much time in school libraries. And I tell kids, like, look at these books. Like, these are books by so many different people who led different lives in different times, different places. They all care about different things. And if they write a story and we pick that up, we might just find ourselves interested in the things that they're interested in.
Mac Barnett is the 9th U.S. National Ambassador for Young People's Literature, appointed by the Library of Congress and Every Child a Reader. His first book for adults is Make Believe. Thanks, Mac.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm Elissa Nadworny. The podcast is produced by Chloe Weiner and Ivy Buck and edited by Megan Sullivan. Our founding editor is Petra Mayer. The show elements for this week were produced and edited by Samantha Balaban, Melissa Gray, Adriana Gallardo, Milton Guevara, Amiko Tamagawa, Mark Navin, Martin Patience, Jacob Fenston, Shannon Rhodes, and Diana Douglas. Yolanda Sanguini is our executive producer. Thank you so much for listening.
This message comes from MIDI Health, introducing AgeWell, longevity care designed by women for women. Women can feel overlooked by the healthcare industry, especially when it comes to aging. MIDI Health offers personalized services conveniently accessible through telehealth visits and covered by major insurance providers. Your health is worth it. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.
This message comes from Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. This message comes from Lisa. From night one, feel the difference with Elissa mattress. With premium materials that deliver serious comfort and full-body support no matter how you sleep. Their mattresses are meticulously designed and assembled in the USA, and they back it all up with free shipping, easy returns, and a 120-night sleep trial. Visit Lisa.com for 30% off today. Plus, get an extra $50 off with promo code NPR. That's Leesa.com, promo code NPR.